Let's talk about how's your preparation for the Paris Olympics.
Preparations are going really good. Feeling very optimistic this season. The training is going as expected, even more on the expected lines, and I'm really happy with the way training is progressing. And I'm opening up my season in April with the Diamond League in Shanghai. So that's when I'll be kicking off my season, and hopefully, this season will be the best season of my life.
And what other events you're playing before the Paris Olympics?
I'm entered to compete in 2 Diamond Leagues now, Shanghai and Doha, and I'll be off to Europe. Then I'll compete in a few European competitions before the national championships, and then after national championship, 1 or 2 European circuit events as well, and then we are heading towards Paris. And after Paris, also I have 2 Diamond Leagues, and then hopefully the Diamond League finals too.
Sreeshankar, whenever you go onto the field, always there will be expectation. There will be pressure from several of them, and you also might be feeling that. So how do you handle this mental pressure?
Like that's the same thing which I said in the panel right now. So as athletes, we should be trained to handle those pressure, because pressure is always a part of sport. It's not like you just go there, you just have fun. Obviously pressure will be there. Obviously we have to acknowledge that pressure. We have to use the pressure in a positive way rather than getting down by it. So as an athlete, we always train to be perfect on the field. So we train day in and day out to be perfect on the field. So on that day, it's just about trusting the process and then be mentally free, because we should believe in our training, what we have done in our training. All the preparations have been done. We have to trust in our preparations, and we have to do our best and when it matters. So pressure is obviously part of the sport, and when we are going for the Olympic Games, pressure is inevitable, because it's the world's biggest sporting spectacle, and the whole world is watching you. So obviously there is pressure. And even if you write an exam and the invigilator is just having an eye on your paper, there is pressure. So, but it's important that if you're well prepared for the exam, you just don't seem to care about the people who are looking at you, or the person sitting behind you or in front of you, or the teacher who is just watching you. You just write the exam, write the answer, just finish off the answer, and draw 2 lines below it. Same goes for in the sport as well. You have to be prepared in every possible manner to bring your A game into that moment.
Let's talk about Neeraj. Whenever you see him performing at the world stage, how you feel, and then when you have interaction with him, what kind of interaction is that?
Neeraj Bhai is obviously a big role model for not just for myself but for the entire Indian contingent, because he himself has shown multiple times that we Indians can win the most coveted prize, and the way he behaves himself in the field in high pressure situations, when the first throw doesn't go as expected, how he keeps his nerve cool, and how he has delivered every time. Because in the recently held Asian Games also, his first throw was over 88-50 for sure. It was a big throw, huge, humongous throw. So we were all expecting like probably 88-90 or something. Then the measurement didn't come up proper. So, and as an athlete, it depends on how you conduct yourself in high pressure situations and high quality events like that, because you had an 87-meter throw right behind you, and then he threw 82, and then he threw 84, and then we had Kishore Bhaiya throwing 86 and 87. Then Neeraj Bhaiya just showed the world who Neeraj Bhaiya is. He threw 88, and then he secured the gold. So it depends on how you conduct yourself in high pressure moment that defines you as a champion or a legend. And Neeraj Bhaiya is an epitome of that example. You say like what a champion material he is, not just on the field but off the field also. The kind of great person he is, how humble he is, how down to earth he is, and how he interacts with all of us, motivating us, supporting us in every possible way in our ups and downs. So we all take motivation and we admire Neeraj Bhaiya a lot.
But what do you interact with him, like whenever you meet? Anything you'd like to share?
So at Tokyo Olympics, so we were sharing the same apartment. So myself, Neeraj Bhaiya, his physiotherapist Ishan sir, and Klaus sir, his coach. So we all were in the same apartment. So I witnessed the moment right before the history was made. The biggest, I would say probably the biggest sporting achievement India has ever made in any sport will be Neeraj Bhaiya's Olympic gold, because winning a medal in athletics is something huge, because athletics is one sport which is all over the world. It is the top sport, it is the queen of all sport, and winning a gold medal in athletics, in Olympic Games, in an event like javelin throw, which are dominated by the Europeans. Leaving behind all those Europeans, I would say it's the biggest feat which an Indian will ever achieve. So I was there right before the history was being made, and it was nothing special, like the atmosphere was as cool. Like we were all joking out there, we were all like having good time, we were fun, we were eating right, we were sleeping at the right time, we were having fun. There was no pressure that like Neeraj Bhaiya was not panicking, or he was like, oh, this is Olympic. He was coming into our room, we were just having great conversations, quick chat, we were talking about how the other sportmen is, how which all sports person were they were, and all the other things. It was as cool, and he just brought the most precious gold medal for us at the Olympic Games. And whenever we meet outside the competition also, he motivates us. He say that bhai abhi dekho tu ye itna acha performance kar rahe ho, just keep that motivation high, just perform your best at the Olympic Games. I think you are definitely going to do it. The kind of motivation and the kind of support he gives for athletes is really good, and he gives examples of how he conducts himself in the event, how the other athletes conducts himself, how the training has been, and so that's been a great motivating factor for all of us.
Last two questions. If I ask you one wow moment of your life so far, could be on the field, off the field, what would that be?
Wow moment, like personally on all like
It could be anything.
I would say the biggest wow moment will be definitely Neeraj Bhaiya's Olympic gold medal, because that will always be the biggest wow moment in all of our life. Because someone who has been following the sport, someone who has loved sport and who is doing sport, and you see your friend winning Olympic gold medal will be the biggest wow moment for all of us in our life.
Unfortunately, there weren't any spectators in Tokyo, but we were there at the Commonwealth Games, and you, of course, won the silver medal. We were there at the Asian Games as well. When you see an Indian fans in the stands with the tricolor in their hand, how motivates it is to you?
It really feels great, when we were in Eugene also for the World Championship. There were big Indian population out there just to support us, and you won't believe the Indian population who just been there at Budapest to support Neeraj Bhai in his final. It was incredible, super incredible. Because the stands when Neeraj Bhaiya was about to take his throw, the stand was erupting with India chants, because Neeraj Bhaiya was throwing and the Indian population was there. So it really feels great it really feels home when we go abroad, and then we get support from our countrymen who come all the way just to watch us. They meet us, they greet us outside the stadium, they take pictures with us, we interact with them. It's a great feeling, and they are really very supportive. Wherever we have been, from Budapest, in Hangzhou, in Eugene, it has been really great with all their fans and supporters coming to support us.
Thank you so much for coming to us.